10 Catholic priests who were scientists. Number 10. Benedetto Castelli, who lived from 1577 to 1644, was an Italian Benedictine monk. He was a student, friend, and supporter of Galileo. He's considered to be the founder of the science of running water, or hydrodynamics. At the time, engineers had been building aqueducts and diverting rivers for centuries, but they didn't have any real understanding of factors that affected water flow. That changed with Castelli, and he consulted throughout Italy on issues of drainage, water supply, flood prevention, and more. Number 9. Francesco Grimaldi, who lived from 1618 to 1663. He was an Italian Jesuit priest, and he discovered the diffraction of light. He conducted experiments that revealed light doesn't always travel in straight lines, but can bend around objects, a behavior he labeled diffraction. His work suggested that light could behave like a wave rather than a particle, and it reportedly greatly influenced Isaac Newton. Grimaldi was also the first person to draw an accurate map of the moon, which was published by our scientist priest number 8, Giovanni Battista Riccioli, who lived from 1598 to 1671. He was an Italian Jesuit priest, and he published Grimaldi's moon map. He chose to name the craters on the moon after people. He even named one after himself and one after Grimaldi. He also conducted experiments on free-falling objects that built on and refined Galileo's earlier work, accurately measuring the rate of acceleration of freely falling bodies, for example, and measuring the effects of air resistance. And he's credited with discovering the first double star. Number 7. Jean Picard, who lived from 1620 to 1682, was a French priest. He excelled in the area of hydraulics, figuring out how to supply the fountains of Versailles with water, and played a significant role in the study of Jupiter's moons. But it's his remarkably accurate measurement of the Earth's size that he's best known for. Isaac Newton used Picard's measurement to verify his theory of gravitation, and Picard's assistant, Ole Romer, would go on to become the first person to measure the speed of light. Number 6. Nicholas Steno, who lived from 1638 to 1686, was a Danish priest and bishop. He's considered to be one of the founders of modern stratigraphy and geology. He discovered that sediment is deposited in layers, meaning that the farther down you dig, the older the rocks are. The theory of the organic origin of fossils began with Steno as well, through his study of fossilized shark's teeth. Number 5. Roger Joseph Boskovic, who lived from 1711 to 1787, was a Croatian Jesuit priest. He did important work in the fields of astronomy, geometry, and optics, but he is perhaps best known for being the first person to discover that the moon lacks an atmosphere. Number 4. Gregor Mendel, who lived from 1822 to 1884. He was an Austrian monk, and it's thanks to him that we understand the way in which genetic traits are passed down from one generation to the next, and sometimes skip generations. He conducted experiments in his monastery garden, and by cross-fertilizing different traits of pea plants, such as height or color, he was able to identify dominant and recessive traits and show that traits were transmitted independently of each other. Mendel's insights greatly expanded the understanding of genetic inheritance, and he's known today as the father of modern genetics. Number 3. George Searle, who lived from 1839 to 1918, was born in London, grew up in the United States, and studied at Harvard. He converted to Catholicism in 1862, and he was ordained a priest in 1871. He is known for having discovered 6 galaxies and an asteroid. Number 2. Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who lived from 1881 to 1955, was a French Jesuit priest. He wrote extensively on paleontology, and he was part of the team that discovered the Peking Man fossils in China, helping to introduce the Homo erectus to the world. Number 1. Georges Lemaitre, who lived from 1894 to 1966, was a Belgian priest, and he proposed the idea that's known today as the Big Bang Theory. Albert Einstein famously dismissed Lemaitre's theory at first, reportedly telling him that his physics was abominable, but he eventually changed his mind and credited Lemaitre's theory with being, quote, the most beautiful and satisfactory explanation of creation to which I have ever listened, end quote. Lemaitre would go on to receive 2 Nobel Prize nominations, one in physics and one in chemistry, for his work.